Have you ever noticed how some people just seem unstoppable? No matter what life throws at them, they always seem to find the right opportunities, make the right choices, and keep moving forward no matter what. You may call them lucky, but their secret isn't luck. The real secret to their success is hiding in how their brain is trained. And in this video, I'll show you how to become unstoppable too using neuroscience. Welcome to my channel. I'm Scarlett and I help people reinvent themselves and create the life they want. The truth is, your brain is wired to confirm whatever it already believes about you. If a goal matches your identity and your expectations, your brain makes it feel natural and easy. But if the goal goes against that identity, it feels almost impossible. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who has always had an easy time making friends. They don't even think about it. They never stress about whether people will like them, if they will make friends, or if they'll end up alone. They automatically expect people to like them. And what happens? They make friends wherever they go without even trying. Why? Because their identity is, I am good with people. People like me. Making friends is so easy. Their mind is wired to expect friendships that come easily. So they do. They don't have to work at it. They don't even have to think about it. It seems to come naturally to them. We all know at least one person like that. Maybe that person is you. Most of us have at least one area of life, one thing that just seems to run smoothly without us needing to do much about it. Yours may not be friendships. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's romantic relationships. Maybe it's something else. This area of life, whatever it is for you, is an area where your identity and your beliefs are lined up. That is why it always runs smoothly without you having to do anything extra. Now, let's take that same person we just talked about, the one who makes friends and connections everywhere they go naturally. And let's say that this same person struggles when it comes to money. They want more of it, but it just doesn't seem to happen. They try to figure out how to earn more, but things rarely work out the way they hoped. Their thoughts are filled with things like, making money is hard, rich people are greedy, I'll never get out of debt, money just doesn't come to me, it's like I'm cursed when it comes to money, there are no opportunities in this economy. And that identity, that story in their head is what keeps their brain locked into proving it true. And no, this isn't just a metaphor or a vague idea. There is literally a part of your brain that works this way. It's called the Reticular Activating System. Think of it like a built-in filter that decides what gets your attention and what doesn't. If your identity and your expectations line up with something, your Reticular Activating System highlights it everywhere. If your identity clashes with it, your Reticular Activating System tunes it out, almost like it's invisible. For example, have you noticed last time you wanted to buy a specific car that suddenly it was as if everybody and their mother were driving that car? Everybody had that exact car that you wanted. So what happened there? Did everybody get the same car you wanted overnight? Of course not. All those people were driving that car already, but that car wasn't important to you before. But the moment you decided, I want that car, and you started reading about that car and watching videos about that car and thinking about that car, your Reticular Activating System got the message, this car is important. Pay attention to it. Point it out to me when we come across it. And suddenly, that car seemed to be everywhere. Here's another example. If you've ever been in a noisy place, maybe a busy mall, or a loud party with music and people talking over each other, and someone calls your name, you turn immediately. Even if you're tired or distracted, you still hear it. Why? Because your brain is wired to treat your own name as important. That's your Reticular Activating System again, pulling it out of the noise and pointing your attention straight to it. Your Reticular Activating System is always taking cues from you about what matters and what doesn't. And once it locks onto something, it keeps showing it to you, whether it's useful or not. By now, you're probably wondering, okay, but how do I actually use this to become unstoppable and get the things I want in life? Well, here's how. When you focus on a problem, on the fact that you don't have what you want, or that you don't know how to get it, or that it never happens easily to you, it hasn't happened easily for you in the past, you're actually training your reticular activating system to look for more proof of that. Your brain will keep pointing out everything that proves you don't have what you want and you cannot have it. That is why people who stress about money all the time only seem to have more bills, while people who expect to have money seem to find opportunities to make money. Because in the first case, the person's reticular activating system is programmed to look for confirmation of the problem. Money isn't here. Money is hard to come by. Money rarely comes to me. Opportunities aren't important. Problems are. In the second case, though, that person's reticular activating system is literally wired to spot opportunities to make money. That doesn't mean that they don't recognize when they need money or when they don't have money, but this is not the focus. Here's the thing. Your reticular activating system is completely neutral. It doesn't decide what's good or bad for you. It doesn't decide what's true and what's not. It just follows the instructions you give it through what you pay attention to. Whether those instructions help you or hurt you doesn't matter to the system. It only cares about what you've marked as important. Think of it like setting filters in your email inbox. You decide which messages are important and should go straight to the top, and which ones aren't worth seeing and should go to spam. Your reticular activating system works the same way. If you keep telling yourself making money is hard, it's like creating an inbox rule that sends every possible opportunity straight to spam. Even if something valuable shows up, you will either not notice it or you will find a reason to dismiss it right away. But if your reticular activating system gets the message, money is easy to make, opportunities to make money are everywhere, it's like setting a rule that pushes all the useful money-related opportunities and information to the top where you can't miss them. Suddenly, you start picking up on ways money can come in that you'd never paid attention to before. You notice chances you hadn't considered. You meet the right people and realize they're the right people, and things begin lining up for you. And I know this might sound strange at first. You might be thinking, there's no way opportunities are sitting right in front of me while my brain just ignores them. No way. But you can actually see this happening in your own life once you start paying attention. I can actually prove this to you right now. Think of an area of your life that goes pretty well for you, maybe even really well. But that same area is a constant struggle for someone you know. Maybe it's a friend, a colleague, a family member. Now, think about all the times that person complained to you about that issue and you tried to offer them advice. Clear, simple advice that you knew works well because it worked for you and it worked for many other people you know. And you thought they would be happy or relieved to get that advice, but instead of trying it, they brushed it off. Maybe they got angry or even laughed at the idea or told you that you just don't understand because you've been lucky and you don't know how things actually work in the real world. And you're left baffled because you can see they're suffering. They want to change. You want to help them. You've given them an easy solution, so why won't they even try it before they dismiss it? It makes no sense. Here's the thing. It's not that they don't want the solution. It's that their brain is programmed to believe that there is no solution. So no matter what you say, even if you're standing there as living proof that it's a solution that works, they will find some way to justify why it won't work for them and go right back to complaining about that very same topic. They don't do it on purpose. It's how their brain is programmed. I remember once having two completely different conversations within 24 hours about the exact same situation with two friends of mine. The topic was the economy being bad. One friend told me, I don't know what to do. There are no opportunities anymore. There are no good jobs. There's nothing you can do unless you were born with money, I guess. The other friend also said the economy was bad, but then they added, that's exactly why it's the perfect time to invest. Prices have dropped, so I can invest now when everybody else is afraid to buy, and wait until prices go up again and sell then, and I will make money. The situation was identical. Neither of those friends was wealthy, and neither of them had come from a family with money. The difference was that the second friend had a degree in economics, and years of studying economics trained his brain, specifically his reticular activating system, to spot opportunities in a bad economy when most people only see dead ends. So, how do you actually use this information to make yourself unstoppable? Glad you asked. I want you to pick a specific goal that you want right now. Let's say that you want to start a business, and I'm just using this as an example so that you can see how the process works. Your goal can be about anything: love, money, fitness, education, social life, anything you want. Don't overthink it. Just choose something that matters to you and that you haven't been able to accomplish or have. Then I want you to write down the thoughts you currently have about that goal. And I want you to be honest with yourself. What do you catch yourself saying when you think about it? What do you say when you talk to other people about it? For our example about starting a business, you may have thoughts that have to do with yourself, like, I don't know where to start, or people like me don't start businesses. You may also have thoughts about businesses in general that are not about you, like, you need a lot of money to start a business, or most businesses fail. Just write it all down, good and bad, so you can have it all on paper. When you're done, read what you wrote down, and I want you to notice the things you wrote that sound like reasons why you can't have this. And I want you to pick one of those things you wrote, the one that feels is the most important, the one thing from what you wrote that if it weren't true, you feel you could have succeeded in this thing already. Again, you don't have to overthink it. You probably already know which one it is because it's the one that feels the most discouraging to you. In other words, the one that makes you feel bad more than anything else you wrote. Write it down on a piece of paper. For this example, let's say you picked, people like me don't start businesses. Now, I want you to ask yourself, is this really 100% true? Really spend some time with this question and be specific. What does people like me actually mean? People like you in what sense? Is it people your age? Is it people with your education? Is it people of your specific ethnic background? Is it a combination of different things? The more specific you make it, the easier it is to answer the question. Let's say that you realize that in your case, when you say people like me, you mean mostly people without a college degree. Okay, is this 100% true that people without a college degree don't start businesses? If you can name at least one or two people that don't have a college degree but still manage to build a successful business, that means that this is not a fact of life. This is simply a belief. This is just an opinion. Does every person in your neighborhood who has a store also have a college degree? Does every person online who has a successful business also have a college degree? Can't you think of any famous people who have hugely successful businesses that never went to college or went and then dropped out? If you honestly don't know, you can always look it up. Do a bit of research to see if maybe you were wrong all this time and there are examples of people having the same perceived limitation as you who managed to do what you want to do or have what you want to have anyway. Write down any cases you can think of where a person like you, without a college degree for example, has a successful business. Because here's the thing, our brains are programmed to accept as facts many things that are not true at all. If something is 100% true, it will apply to everyone in all situations. For example, gravity applies to everything on Earth. You can choose to believe in gravity or not believe in gravity, but you will still be on Earth instead of floating in the air, regardless of what you believe. Gravity will still work for you. But there are many things we have learned to accept as facts that aren't like gravity at all. They're just opinions. But unless you decide to look at them, really look at them and examine them closely to see if they hold up, you will keep assuming they're absolute truths. And when those false truths are the same ones your reticular activating system is programmed with, That's what's keeping you from accomplishing your goals and dreams. So, in order to program your reticular activating system to filter in a different way so that it can point, for example, business opportunities to you instead of limitations, you first have to dismantle the old truth in a way that makes sense to your mind. When you start looking for evidence that your current filter, your current belief, may not actually be true, or at least not as absolute as you originally thought, it starts collapsing. And that's when you can install a different truth and program your reticular activating system to filter things in a different way. So now that you have proven that your original thought is not 100% true, it's time to replace it with something helpful instead. I want you to ask yourself, if that's not true, then what is true? Or what do I want to be true? In most cases, the new instruction for your reticular activating system is basically the exact opposite of the old one. In this example, this could be, people like me start successful businesses every day. So write it down. And now I want you to ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this is already true? In some cases, here you can use again some of the evidence from the previous step, but try to go deeper. Really make a list of any evidence you can find that this is already true. From now on, pick that new statement you created and say it to yourself about 10 times every morning. Think of it as a daily mental warm-up. The repetition signals to your brain, this matters, keep it on my radar. But here's the part that really makes the biggest difference. As you go through your day, deliberately watch for any proof that this new statement is true. Let's say that your new statement is, people like me start successful businesses every day. So if you know someone with a similar background as you who started their own company, take that as evidence. Point it out to yourself. If you stumble across an article about a college dropout who built something amazing, don't rush it off. Notice it. Pay attention to it consciously. Tell yourself, see, this is proof that people like me do start businesses all the time. Every time the old thought comes back, repeat the process. Question it, replace it, and connect it to new evidence. The more often you do this, every day just for a few minutes, the more your reticular activating system learns to highlight the things, the people, and the opportunities that help you move forward. Do this consistently with the main thoughts and beliefs that came up around your goal, and soon your brain will be wired to support you, not hold you back. That is how you train your brain to become unstoppable. And if you're ready to rebrand your life and become unrecognizable, then watch the video that's on your screen right now, because in it, I give you the exact steps to reinvent yourself and become the person you have always wanted to be. So click to watch it now, and I'll see you in the next video.